So one thing that he mentioned was that, for example, over here, the convention is that we have always like this circle that goes like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So in the exam, he could give you something like, and then this is the segments of the number. So in the exam, he said something like, oh, what if I give you like a B, C, D, E, F, and G. And then he would like to know, let's say you want to make the number 2 display on this thing over here. So it would be something like this. Then what would be the segments that would be turned on for this different configuration over here? So it's in my opinion, making this mapping should be pretty straightforward, because all you have to do is just this thing over here.
Yeah.
So you don't have to make anything very complex. So everything that's turned on is B. It remains with the same letter, C, G, F, E. And then everything that's turned off, you reverse it. So then this is not D and then not A.
So will we have to draw this whole thing on the exam?
So I don't know.
He said that there's gonna be like for K-maps, like one question is gonna be like the table format, like so what you see right there on the screen, he's gonna want you to do it like that. That's gonna be like one question where he just wants you to do a table format. And then he also said that he's gonna want to do like the K-map of one of them and then also a circuit. So for the K-maps, there's gonna be like at least 3 questions, and it's gonna be on the circuits on the actual table and the actual K-map.
Yeah, and also how, like for K-maps, how do you know which column or row gets a 1, which one gets a 0, which one stays blank?
So the way you do that, let me show you. So the way you do that, let me see if I can read this. So for the sake of simplicity, I'll simply call this X, Y, W, and Z, okay? And then if you guys remember the speedrun K-map, is it right in here? No. So you have the K-map over here. We have 4 inputs. So we go skipping the third, so 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. 0, 0, 0, 1, skip the third, 1, 0, 1, 1. So this over here is this pair. This is X, Y. And this over here is the other pair. This is W, Z. To make things easier, you just read it by pairs. So for example, let's make the segment E because we have the answer over here. So let's make the segment E. The segment E is this segment over here. This is segment E. So these numbers will go into, these numbers will correlate with the numbers over here for X and Y. Does it make sense?
I think so. I think so.
So for example, there's a 1 over here, right?
Right.
Then we go through 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. There's another 1 over here. Then we go through 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Then there's a 1 over here. There's a 1 over here. Does it make sense?
I see.
1 over here. 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1, 0. Then 1 over here. Does it make sense?
0, 1, 1, 0. So you put a 1. Yeah, right.
Yeah, try to read them. Yeah, try to read them with pairs. There's a 1 over here. Let me just erase a little bit because it's getting polluted. Letter E, there's a 1 over here. So 1, 0, this is X and Y, X and Y. 1, 0, 1, 0, okay?
Okay.
Then 0, 0, WZ 0, 0, WZ 0, 0. So the other one is over here. So this is a 1. Make sense?
I see it now. So do you need to do it from 0 to 1? Like, I see a pair. There's 0, 0, 0, 1, and won't that get a 1 as well?
You can draw on the screen if you want to. So if you could draw so I can see where you're pointing at.
I am on my phone. I am going through my phone. Is there a way to annotate?
I'm not sure on the phone, but there is a way to annotate. If you
Yeah.
go to view options, it should be under that tab.
Oh, never mind.
Wait, so what are we putting in the table again?
So I see 0, 0, 0, 1. That's a pair I see. So
0, 0, 0, 1. So where you so 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 is over here, right? This one.
Right.
So we're making the E segment, okay? 0, 0, 0, 1 in the E segment is a 0.
see.
Make sense?
Yes. So yeah. And from here to here, those are the don't cares, right?
So let's see. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. This is actually 0.
Yeah, they're all zeros.
The only things that would be don't care conditions are the off statuses.
Yeah, this one's over here.
Yeah, the ones at the bottom would be don't cares because they only goes up to 9 numbers or 10. Yeah, 0 to 9.
Another way you guys can speed run the K-map. I love speed running. Is just always skipping the third on the counting. So you go like 0, 1, and then you skip the third, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, 6, 7, and then you also skip the third over here, 6, 7, 8, 9, skip 10, 11, and then you come back here, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then you just plug the numbers. These numbers maps these numbers over here. So number 2 over here, the letter E is number 1. So on the number 2 is a 1. That's another way you guys can do it. So you guys can visualize it easier.
Wait, so like the numbers we put on the right, 0, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6, that's where each one is, right?
So these numbers, where it's true, the numbers are true over here, are the numbers that are true over here. So you can straight put the numbers over here on the K-map.
Okay.
How do you know when you can leave them blank?
So how do I know when I can leave them blank? You can never leave them blank. They are either a 0. So they're either a 0. I'm sorry. They are either a 1, a 0, or I don't care. Those are the only 3 options.
So 1, 0, 1, 0 would be a don't care, right?
1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be a don't care.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can't output 10 on the 7
Yeah.
segment.
It has to be 1 through 9, or it's going to be 1 or 0, and then everything above, like after that's going to be basically a don't care.
So I can see that right now, like the 0, 0, 1, 1, I think that's a 0, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you can never leave a K-map blank, right?
No.
Yeah, you can't leave it blank.
So 1 0 1 0 1. Can't see anything. 1 0 1 0. That's a don't care. 1 0 1 0 1 0. That's a don't care over here. Then on class, he showed us something like this, that this would be also and then 1 0 1 1. This would also be a don't care. 11 0 0 11 0 0 don't care. 11 0 1 11 1 0 and then 11 1 1. This would be all don't cares. Does it make sense?
See.
Okay, then are we missing some numbers? One,
You just have to fill in the zeros. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Then this would be a 0 0 0 0.
So what letter is this again we're doing?
E.
It's E.
Oh, we're doing E? Okay.
Mhm.
So what if we had to do a K map for one of the display digits?
Say it again.
If we had to do a K map for one of the digits.
When you say one of the digits, you mean like a 2 or a 1?
You know the display digits for what's it for?
So each digit is composed of each one of these over here. Each one, you have to have one separate K map for each of those. This is just this segment E.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, on the exam, he's gonna ask you to do A through G. Like he's gonna give you a letter, say like F, he could say, and then he's like draw the K map for this, and that's how you'll have to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're doing segment 8, you'll need to draw a K map for A, B, C, D, E, F, right?
Yes.
And another thing you can do that's not even something you can really prepare for, you can also say, hey, make a capital A using a 7-segment display. Make a capital F. So like you really need to know how to do these things. You don't really know what he's going to ask you to display on the 7-seg. I would hope it's a number because you can kind of, know how to do that from before lectures. But yeah, you need to make every single segment circuit to go to a segment to then make a digit.
Yeah.
So hopefully he gives us like a 1 or a 3.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Or like something easy. But he could just straight up give you an 8.
Yes, what he means
So-
is that what if Montagna tells us to draw something like this? Do the 7 segments for the letter A. That's the letter A,
Yeah.
quote unquote A, in 7 segments.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Hello?
Yeah.
we
So
do.
they told us to do segment 8. We're gonna have to draw, I think, 7 K maps, right?
Oh no, I
Yes.
don't want to draw 7K.
So you're gonna have to draw 7 K maps, right?
Yes, sir.
1 K map
Yeah.
for each segment, yes.
Oh no.
So how do you draw the circuit for each one of them?
Oh,
So-
yeah, so we can do that now.
First, we need to finish the K mapping.
Yeah.
A trick that I like to use to make it easier for people to visualize is this. So you see the X over here?
Yes.
So this over here are the values of X, okay? Does it make sense?
Yep. Those are the X values.
So this over here is X. And then this over here is the Y values, okay?
Yeah.
So then this line over here is Y. Doing the same thing up here. This up here is the values of Z. And then these on the bottom is the values of W. This means that this over here is X naught. This over here is W naught. This over here is Z naught. and this over here is why not, okay?
Why not?
Why not?
Then we have to make the groupings. So for you to make the groupings, all you have to do is find the largest group of ones that they are also a power of 2. So for example, you find a 1, that's a power of 2, 2 I think is to the 1, and then this is also a power of 2, this is one group, this is one group. If you find something like this is also a possible group. A group like this is also a possible group.
I don't see anything so
If you manage to find something like this, I think is also a possible group. Say it again.
I don't see any circlings on the map.
Oh, I can hear.
Circling of groups. I cannot find those.
It's because he's drawing them to the side. He's not drawing them on the actual K map.
No, he's just showing you how to group them.
Yeah, he's just showing you the different types of grouping you can do. Like you can't do diagonal. Like he's showing you like the different groupings that are possible.
Because yeah, the reviews are review, but they're also to touch on the subjects again. Well, it's still review, but it's not direct review on what you know. It's just like to help everyone get in the same speed. They don't understand. He was just showing you how to group different ways.
Okay, so to find a group on the K map, you could have, for example, this over here is one possible group. Do you see that?
Yep.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys see that. I'm asking the guy that asking the question. I don't know his name.
I'm not sure.
Is it Serial?
Yes, it's me.
Huh. Can you see that this is a group, Serial?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so when you have, this is one group. When you have a 1 and a don't care, this is also a possible group. So you always aim for the largest group possible. So over here, we could also make one group. Oops.
Yeah, because don't cares are part of the group.
Yeah, can you see that?
Yeah, it's only ones and don't cares, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if we had something like this, 1, 1, 1, 0, the only possible groups over here is this one and this one, right?
Right.
But if we had, instead of a 0, we had a don't care, we could do some magic and group all of them together and make one single group. Does it make sense to you?
Really? You can make one single group with all these don't cares?
Yes.
Yep, because you don't care.
Only when it's beneficial to you.
Yep. So like, I don't have to make a group over here because I don't care about them. I don't have to do that. But there's a 1 here, so I can do a group over here. Does it make sense?
There's one more 1, top left.
Does it make sense to you?
I think so. So you make circuits depending on the groups, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The K map tells you how your circuit's gonna look.
So this group of the 2 ones, that would be X bar, Y, X bar.
Hold on. I'm getting there. So the K map has an interesting property. The K map extends itself to the sides. It repeats itself like a mirror. So this side over here is also over here. 1, 0, don't care, 1. Do you see that?
If you were in lecture, this is when Monty was folding a piece of paper to show that effect.
Yes. The K map, it folds itself. It's like a mirror. It mirrors itself like this way all the way. It keeps mirroring itself. So like 1, 0, 0, 1, it keeps going. 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, keeps going forever. Do you see that?
It's infinite, right?
Huh?
It's infinite, right?
I can't hear you.
I'm saying it's infinite, right?
Yes. So do you see that this one over here shows up over here? 1?
Yeah.
Can you see? So this means that also the K-map is also extending this way. So if it extends this way, so there's this 1001 showing up over here, 1001, and then 0001, and then don't care, and then 10010, don't care. Do you see that?
Yes.
So this means that this don't care shows up here, don't care. And this means that this one over here shows up here. Do you see that?
Yes.
So this means that they are all close together, so I can make one group over here. Do you see that?
Yes.
But since they're kind of away from each other, we need to make the grouping a little bit separated. So we could do the grouping like this. Do you see that?
Yes.
That's one group. Okay. And then we have only one left. So we could group it with a don't care if you want to, because we don't care. Okay. Now we need to map. We're gonna play a game called treasure hunting. So your groups is your treasure. Okay. I'm gonna give you a map, and you're gonna need to find. You have this map, and you need to tell me where the treasure is. Okay. But a treasure map gives you coordinates for you to find the treasure. And your treasure is a group. This group is your treasure. Okay. And we need to map that group for me to find. So if you were to tell me where the group is, you could tell me that this group over here is on Y. Okay. This over here is Y. Do you see that?
Yes.
But the problem is that this is not very useful, because Y is all these things. It's not, we want only the group. So you could be more specific. I need you to be more specific to me so that I can find this group. So then you tell me, well, it's in Y, but it's also in W. So now it's in Y, but it's also in W, because W is this thing over here. But then this is still not as specific as I need, because I have this over here that I don't want to. So it's in this too, but it's also in this column over here. And this column is Z0. Okay? Does it make sense?
It's in Z0. How is it in Z0? Yeah.
Because Z0 this is over here. Remember that the K map just keeps going. It just keeps repeating itself. Just like this one is next to this one over here. Does it make sense?
Yes. I guess so.
So we have this Z0 over here, that this is this column over here. These two columns is Z0, because this one is Z. So we have Y, W, and Z0. So it's this group over here, these two spots. Does it make sense to you? It's a little bit hard to see that the K-map just extends itself like to the sides forever. So this is the first treasure. Now we need to find the next one. The next one is going to be the group, this group over here on the sides. So the group on the sides would be this group over here. So you can see it's completely over Z. Why not? Okay. Do you see that? Why not? Do you see that? But the problem is that I need to remove the middle part that I don't want to. So it's in Z0, but it's also in Y0, but it's also in Z0. So now I have this This is y naught and z naught as well. This is y naught and z naught. This over here is z naught and y naught. Make sense? This over here, y naught and z naught. Now this over here is the mapping of the segment. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Mapping of a segment?
Yeah, the mapping of this is the circuit of the segment E. I don't know if that's the correct term. Is it the mapping?
You have your K map, which is the highlighted / like coordinate marker on the left, and then that thing that you just made afterwards, that's your function of segment E.
Okay. Yeah.
And you would take your function and then turn it into a logic design circuitry.
Oops.
So there's one more step.
So this is the function. Does it make sense to you? So instead of having like a big thing, usually they have like this huge stuff over here, like it's true for all these values and true over here and over here. Instead of having that, I'll have like over here, down here, instead of having like all these values, these big values, like this huge stuff, I'll have to have this little simplified stuff.
Welcome back, Cole. How did the test go?
I'll be right now.
Sounds about right.
It was almost
I'm gonna
entirely-
join through my computer.
I'm gonna join through my computer. I'll be right back, guys.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. We can wait for it. So is there something else do you guys want to move over, or do you guys want to wait for him?
We'll just wait.
We can wait a sec. Alright, does everyone understand where we're at so far? It's a quick breather.
Yep.
Yeah, you just make, so basically like you gotta find where the ones are for each letter. Like if it's like letter E, you gotta know how many numbers there are, and then you put a 1 for each number there is. The rest of them are 0, and then the ones at the bottom are the don't cares. And you gotta break them down into groups. And once you break them down into groups, you gotta basically look at where each one is. So like, look at, like for example, 0 0 0 0. That means X. That means everything is like a not. Like all the letters are not.
Yeah.
So like if you have like 0 0 0 1, everything except Z is a not, and Z is just Z. And that's how you like break it down in groups, and then you put it, and that's how you put the equation together.
Yeah, the treasure finding or the treasure hunting analogy is really good for explaining how to find your actual groupings.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he used it.
Well, Montagne prefers to fold the paper and.
Oh, also, yeah, you have to look at your inputs. So, in the sense of like what they have on the left, it has like the B0, B1, whatever. Keep in mind we're changing those inputs on the K map. It's not going to actually change what happens to your inputs, but it is good for visualization. I guess visualization's sake, you have to know that like the X equals your B0 input. That's if you're comparing our slides to our actual review here, if that makes sense. Because you don't want to get caught up on a mistake like that if you have your own notes somewhere.
Yeah, it's just variable names basically.
Yeah, it's like you're programming in C.
So in a nutshell, the groupings are. So like if I can annotate the screen, like how you did it, how you made that one group.
How? So
Yeah. So like like W, Z, Y.
So you need to, when you do the grouping, you need to, how can I say this? This over here is the domain of Y. Does that make sense?
Yeah, from like here to here is the domain of Y, right?
Yeah. So because this group doesn't cross the line, let's say it doesn't go away, like over here, if there was a group over here, it crosses the line of Y. Do you see that? Like, for example, this is X, right? You see X here? Do you see X?
Yes.
So this group crosses the line. Let me use another color.
Don't mind if I annotate here?
Oh, sure. Please do so.
Like this would also be Z bar that I just wrote, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever all these groupings are is how you determine what you're gonna have, correct?
Uh-huh.
So wouldn't there be a W for where it has after the plus sign the Y bar Z bar? Wouldn't there also be the W?
No, because for this top group over here, let me remove this. So we have one group over here like this, and then one group over here. So in this first over here, we did this one. So we no longer need to take care of it. We already mapped this part over here. We already mapped it. So we only need left to map the corners. And then when we map the corners, we have mapped all the ones. Does that make sense?
So yeah, like one of the ones, there's a W bar that's in the map in the corner.
W bar. Yes.
Like right here. Wouldn't you need to add that to? Plus
W bar. W bar.
About W naught.
So the problem with W bar is because, so there's another rule that I like to use is that they need to follow the domain. They cannot, you imagine this W's like states, and they cannot cross the lines of the states, okay? The group cannot cross the lines of the states. So this grouping over here, it follows the rules of Y. Do you see that? It doesn't cross the line. While this grouping crosses the line of X. Do you see the X goes over here and it crosses the line of X? Do you see that?
yeah.
So because it crosses the line of X, it doesn't care about X. Does it make sense?
Where does it cross the line of X again?
Over here, like X goes over here on the top and on the bottom. Do you see that? Do you see the group crossing the line over here?
Yep, it cannot cross that line, right?
Yeah, cannot cross the line. So when we have the W over here, the not W, the group, because the group goes to the side over here, it's crossing the line of not W. You see that? Because the group comes this way. So it's crossing the line of not W.
So like that?
No, to the side. So remember, let me show you. Move this. Remember that it repeats to the side. So we have 1 and then 0, don't care, and then a 1. And then, so this is the group, and this is the group, and then this is not W. So because the group is over here, the domain of not W stops over here. Do you see that? Do you see the domain of not W that stops over here?
Oh, really? There's the domain. The domain stops after after the last column.
Yes, but the group crosses this line to the side. The group continues until W. So because the group crosses the line of not W, we cannot include not W.
If you include not W, that makes it less optimized. Because not Y and not Z is already as specific you need it to be to be able to make a circuit out of it.
Is that X, Y, W, Z?
Where?
Yeah, that's how the order he has it for this example. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
I
not
thought
using the B
usually-
stuff.
I thought
Yeah.
usually it's W, X, Y, Z.
Yeah, you can. It doesn't honestly really matter. Just follow whatever order that you pick.
Okay.
It's only for showing your inputs.
Yeah.
Input variables, I guess. You can make it whatever, but all that matters is your actual inputs. So like your ones or your zeros are what you don't care about.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are just labels, basically.
Maisa made a very good point. For optimism purposes, couldn't you group the entire fourth column together? Yes, you could. So she's saying that the entire group, this entire column could be just one big thing. Yes, the larger the group, the better. So the entire column over here would be just, let me think, would be just W. And then we need to exclude this one, W Z naught would be just that. Didn't make much of a difference, but yeah. The larger the group, the better.
So yeah, in that case, you'd be using that because it's more, it's smaller, more optimized. Sorry, it's a larger group, so more optimized because they'll give you a smaller circuit. That's what I meant to say.
The more ones you can get and group them with don't cares, the better. I just didn't do that over here because when we did this grouping, when we did this smaller grouping, I could make a larger grouping with the other side because I could have made a big group over here and then I had to account for these little ones. So that's why I didn't went for it. But yes, you can do that. The larger, the better.
Larger the better?
Yeah, the larger the group, the better. So if you have like, for example, 1, 1, 1, 1, you could do something like this, 2 groups, okay? But then this is less optimized than doing just one big one.
Yeah, you don't have to do what you just, I was gonna explain that. You don't have to do that.
Do
what?
Circle all 4 of these ones, like how you just did.
You want to.
You have to.
That's how you make it the most optimal.
Because if we're looking at this with the logic design standpoint, you have to add another AND gate each time you split these groups up. And then once that gets down to your circuitry level, you have to pay more cents per circuit, put down an assembly line. More circuitry is going to cost more. So you want these to be more optimized. So you use less money, put less gates, and have less heat dissipation. You'll have less heat dissipation in that regard through your circuits.
And you also have to draw less. Smile.
Yeah. There's less work for your end as well if you don't have to keep on doing that. Yeah, it's hell. Yeah, so ideally you'd want to use that one on the very left, the 4 together, rather than the 2s or the individualized ones. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why when you group like the largest that you can in these groups, that means that instead of having multiple gates, you just have multiple inputs going into certain gates instead of splitting them up.
Okay, now we go for the circuits, okay? So this circuit over here would be, we would only use Y, W, and Z. And then...
Do we want to use the group of 4?
Yeah,
for both?
I just put like the Y, X, Y, W, Z, and I just drew the circuit from there.
Yeah, sure.
Because you can use the larger one or the smaller one, but for exam's sake, you would use the 4 group.
Yeah, so we have like this. And then we have Y, W, Z naught. And this is all ended. And then we have Y naught. And then Z naught. Both ended. Then all of these are ORed over here, and this is the output of segment E.
Congrats, you have 1 segment out of 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I told people last time on last review was to pre-compute this thing, all the segments, like do them beforehand, before the exam, so you have all of them already done, so you don't have to waste time doing the exam.
Yeah. How is he
anyone actually
splitting the
done that?
exam again, by the way? Did he make an announcement?
No, he did not, but I think it's gonna be the same, like 5 and 5 or 5 and 4 questions.
Oh god, okay.
Hold on,
Yeah, so
has
we're
anyone?
already here. We already have like 3 questions here, basically, because he said that like one of them, let's see,
Let's hope the
one would
first test is
like
literally
one of them
just
would be
this.
this. It would be like just this table, literally would just be one question, he said.
I'll be right back.
This one would already be one question too, doing able to do that, and then this is another one, the whole circuit as well, the whole circuit.
Oh, nice, okay.
So that would be like the 3 questions already. I guess the next thing we go from here is the flip-flops is the next thing he mentioned.
Yeah,
That
the
we would have
latch and flip-flops.
Yeah, he said that we'd have to be able to design a D flip-flop at the gate level.
Oh, that's not bad, okay.
At the gate level. At the gate level.
Yeah, at the gate level.
Yeah, that's not terrible at all.
Label
Yeah.
input. Like
And
whether
then let's see, and then another we're also gonna have
I
to
give
be
you
able
a
to
0.
design a JK flip-flop, but at the box level.
Hey, so have y'all drawn like the thing for all the letters yet, or
I think
No, I
for
have not.
for every single letter, like as Dimitri said, like for the exam? Because I haven't drawn all
The-
that.
The only reason why I'm not gonna do that is because I have a feeling the reason why he mentioned that he was gonna switch the A, like the order of it, and if I pre-draw like my table and stuff, it's I'm gonna have to readjust it because it's gonna change what's on and what's off.
I've done this
Yeah.
enough times to not need it, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. I'll see what he
exactly.
gives me and I'll just make something out of it.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be, I don't know. I have a feeling it would be fine.
One question he might ask would be, could give you that thing like I told you guys, like A, B, C, D, E, F.
Oh god, if he does that, that's evil.
No. Mm-mm.
S,
Dude,
like
He could do
well,
that.
it is Monty. Well, it is Mr. Monty, right?
9.
Well, because the
Why
thing
do y'all
is,
keep
doing
calling
it
him
like
that?
that is literally going against the data sheet of a 7-segment display.
Yeah, I feel like that way is way too unconventional. I feel like the other way, like he was saying, I mean, it's still not right, but at least it's better. Like he's not completely like, swapping letters and stuff. He's just like swapping where it starts.
I mean, he could just to
Yeah.
make sure you get it, but like
I know.
in
but
the real world, that's never gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Unless like your boss or something like screws up your paperwork.
Yeah.
But
I can't press the red marker.
Well, it is Montag. Well, it is Monty, right?
Why do y'all keep calling him Monty? His name is Europides Montagny.
Monty Python.
I love
Like y'all like
Python.
calling him Monty. His name is Montagny.
I'm getting comfortable with the professor.
You may.
It's true. He's
Whoever
also a
said that.
siege operator.
Oh my god.
You said that about me. I give you 0.
So that's something he could ask on the exam. So like he would give you the scrambled 7 segments and then tell you, oh, what's the segment that should be lit for this number? So that's one possible question, I believe, if it makes sense.
Maybe he could ask you on how to.
Okay, do you guys want to move on, or there's something you guys would like to review?
Let's move on. We already got the basics of how we do this.
Okay, so
Let's move on to the flip flops. Those are the real.
So I open up all these notes over here. So we did this one, this one, this one.
So in a nutshell, so when you question 130 came. So basically groupings is done by like what is circled here, that's YW Z bar, right?
Can you draw?
Let's annotate. What's grouped right here is YW Z bar. That's what's grouped here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because X bar, it's not X bar because it cannot overlap, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it bypasses, so X goes only up to here, and then this group crosses the line of X. Can you see that?
Yeah. So this group crosses X, right?
Yeah, but the group is completely obeys. It completely obeys Y. Do you see the group is completely within the lines of Y?
Right.
So it obeys Y. But the group is also completely within the lines of W. So the group obeys W. And the group is also within the line of Z. So it's Z naught. So the group obeys Z naught.
I see. So yeah, for where's the grouping for Y bar Z bar? Where's the grouping for that?
Y bar Z bar. So the grouping for Y bar Z bar is this one over here on the sides, on the corners.
Yeah, these two. Are you talking about these two corners?
So the four corners is one group.
Y bar Z bar.
Yeah, the four corners is one group.
See.
Can you see that?
So that's the circuit for E, right?
Yes, sir.
So if it's a bar, it gets an inverter, right?
Yes, sir. Exactly. If the bar gets inverted, exactly.
Yeah, it's not triangle. Yeah, it's not a triangle.
What is not a triangle?
You know, the inverter. Don't say triangle.
Is it not a triangle?
Yeah,
No.
it's called.
What do you mean? The NOT gate?
I mean, that's
No.
what it looks like though.
No, that's the NOT gate. Do not ever call it a triangle and a circle. You will.
Oh, you're making okay. I thought you were being
Okay,
serious.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I was like,
No, that's the
triangle?
NOT gate. Yeah, just don't ever call.
I mean,
Don't ever
technically, you're
call
not
it
even supposed to call it a NOT gate. With the entire field, it's an inverter. If you called it a NOT gate, it looked like you're stupid.
Well,
triangle?
we're not like.
Same thing with
presenting in
Q
front-
bar. It's Q naught.
No, we are working under the guidance of.
I'm gonna give Monty a
Professor.
0.
We're working under the well, look, we are working under direct guidance of Professor Europide Montagne, which means we have to
He's
follow
the
the
golden
rules and
standard
standards.
VCF, guys. How dare you to submit Section 1, Exam 1 here?
How do you dare?
Yeah,
I remember that.
So dumb.
I
That is
have
a
a
mistake
quick
on
question.
his part.
What's up?
Here.
So what happens when you have a group of 9 and it kind of crosses over those like borders? I guess that's what you call them, the bars or whatever.
So if you have a group of 9, I think,
Yeah.
if I recall, I don't recall correctly because I never saw a group of 9. They're very rare to
I
happen.
think it's. Hold on.
Looking at A, segment A. That helps.
So you mean something like this, right? There's like a group like this, right?
Yeah, you have a group of 9. So it's gonna cross like 3 of the columns.
So I believe the groups can only be powers of 8. So if you have a group this big, this would be 9. 9 is not not a power of 8, a power of 2.
Oh, okay.
So 2 to the 2, 2 to the
You can
3.
do 1, 2, 4, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So this would not be possible. So the largest
Oh, and
possible,
8. Sorry.
yeah. So the largest possible group would be like something like this.
Yeah, I think you drew 9 earlier. That's probably where the confusion stems from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in someone's notes that they had a group of 9, and that's kind of where my confusion stemmed off of.
Oh wait, really?
Probably the largest group possible would be this one. So it's the entire thing. It's just the
I
entire
want
thing.
that so bad.
No.
Give.
So that's probably the largest possible. But a group of 9, I don't think you could do something like that. Actually,
Imagine drawing that.
Monty will
suck.
give you,
Honestly, I would just take an L.
Montagne would give you a 0.
I would just take the L.
Montagne,
God.
your Montagne would give you that 0.
All right, guys, we're making an A using sorry, not an A, 8 using a 7-segment display. Just log out of the test.
You're making 8, the number 8 with second segment display.
Yeah, because you'd have to make every single segment.
Yeah. So basically that's 7. That's 6 or 7 K maps, right?
Yeah, it's 7.
In each one gets a circuit, or it's one big circuit.
Wait, is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, so each segment is like 1 K map and then 1 circuit. So if you have an 8, that's all 7. You're gonna have to make 7 different K maps, 7 different circuits,
so this
and then plug them into your inputs.
this entire thing we did, this entire process, it's just this one.
Yeah, it's just that one guy. That's all you did.
You're great.
So we're gonna have, so at one point we will have to draw this whole table. We will have to draw this whole table, right? You know, right here.
Left, you mean?
Which table?
I
Oh,
think he's talking about the
Yeah,
table
you
for
will.
the segments in
Yeah,
general.
he
So it's
will.
like-
He said that for sure. Like, that's gonna be like a
Yeah.
question on the exam.
jeez.
So like I told you, one thing that he probably is gonna do would be like have something like this, and then say, oh, fill out the numbers. What numbers over here should be for this segment to be lit? You know?
Yeah. We're on the 7th for this one here, number 2. What's light up is gets a 1, right?
Yes,
What's
sir.
shaded?
Yes, sir.
They give you 0.
Yeah, so if you wanted a 2 to be lit up, you'd do A, B, D, E, and F. Or sorry, and G. Yeah, you do A, B, D, E, and G. All those would have to have their own K map and circuit. It's quite crazy. He's gotta hope he doesn't give us something like that to work on.
Lives a crazy life.
I know what question he is
Wacky.
gonna give us though. Flip flop with it. Draw flip flop at the gate level with NAND gates. That's definitely gonna be on the exam. He said so himself.
Which one?
Draw flip flop at the gate level, but NAND gates.
Oh, I don't think. Well, I don't know necessarily if he wants to draw it at the gate level, but he wanted us to know. Remember the last review we did, how we got confused with the and OR gate one? He basically wants us to do, instead of like the OR gate with the AND gate, where we put like the inputs where it's like each input of 0, 0, and you put 0, 1 and see if it's undefined or whatever number it is.
Oh, the evaluation of Q.
Yeah, but I don't know if did he specifically say he wanted it to be drawn at the gate level, or he just wanted the table?
He said-
Just wanted I think he just wanted the characterized table.
Right, the characteristic table.
Maybe
Well,
not
we did it
in
in class.
class. Sorry, not in review, but I know the other day when he was teaching this, he said that you need to know how to do that. So we're going to be making our latch first using the NAND architecture. So NANDs are our little friends here with the inverters. And in this case, do you want the reset on the top or the S on the top? Does it matter to you guys?
SR, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just have it the way in the notes.
Yeah.
The Montagne
So-
way.
Yeah, the purist. All right, hold on. Let me get these guys set up.
We're Montagne fundamentalists.
Only purists in chat. I'm sorry for my
take the
ugly
word.
cues. All right.
Yeah, we take his word very, very literally.
Oh, hold on. How do I undo? There we go. Did that? Okay. It's delayed. QT.
Yeah.
I hear my alarm going off somewhere in my room. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not.
Uh-huh.
All right. So QT is what we start with for Q, and QT plus 1 is the evaluation after I plug it in. So we're going to be starting off with our binary count, and we have to duplicate it because QT is changing its value each time, and we want to account for that. So do a binary count here from 0 to 3. What am I doing? 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 1, and then QT just changes back and forth. All right, so we're going to be writing it over here. So if these two are both zeros and QT is 0, be putting 0 0 into an AND gate. That's going to give us a 0. Invert that. That's going to give us a 1. We plug the 1 back into here. A 1 to 0 is going to be a 0. Invert that. That's a 1. You put it back into the gate again at the top. It's going to be 0 1. It's going to give us a 0 and then a 1 again. So because these two are the same, it's going to give us an undefined. Because as you know, with these, your complements, they have to be opposites of each other. Q naught is Q complement. So they have to be either 1 0 or 0 1. So in this case, it's undefined. I have to delete all these now. Can I just click? Oh yeah, I can click. Cool. Am I going too fast so you guys understand?
No.
Okay, I want to make sure that you guys are getting it. Alright. So now we're going to be doing 0 0 and 1. So these guys stay the same. This guy's going to be 1. So we plug 0 and 1 into the top. It's going to give us a 0 with the AND gate. Invert that. It's going to be a 1. Plug the 1 down. It's going to be 1 0, which is going to give us a 0 again. Invert that, and that's a 1. Plug it back in the same way. They're both the zeros. Q and Q naught was both 0, so it's undefined. In the first example, Q and Q naught were both 1, so it's still undefined. If they were both zeros, yeah, but I don't think we ever get that within the NOT gate switch, or sorry, latch. It was in our case 1, but yeah, if they were both 0, that would still be undefined. Yeah. So in this case, this is also undefined. We'll go back through. Next inputs are 0, 1, and 0. I cannot erase. Hello. It's not. Oh, there we go. I don't know if my internet just crapped itself or something. There we go. Alright, so we're looking at 0, 1, and 0. Plug in a 0 and a 0, it's going to get you a 0. Flip that, it's going to be 1. A 1 and a 1 is going to give you 1. Flip that, that's 0. Gives us our same inputs here. So Q of t, once you evaluate that, is just going to be a 0. So that's this guy right here at the very end. Oh god, the annotation does not play very well with
The lag.
yeah, it's the input lag.
Yeah.
Input lag, input lag. I can't delete this. There we go. And now we're looking at 0 1 1 and 1. I did that right, correct? Yeah. 1 and 0 is gonna give you 0. Flip that, it's gonna be 1. 1 and 1 is 0. Sorry, 1 and 1 is 1. Flip that is going to be a 0. Plug in 0 0 again, and that's going to give you a 0. Continuing to move on. This takes so long. We're looking at 1 0 and 0. 1 0 gives you a 0. Okay, you're confused with what? I'm sorry. Do you want me to keep on going, or do you want me to explain something? Okay. I'm sorry, I do this as a hobby. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the inputs of 1. Can you guys see my mouse at all? I can't tell.
No.
You can't
No.
see my mouse. Okay, so we're looking at S input as 1, R input is 0, and Q as 0 for this next step right here. So if we evaluate Q as 0, S as 1 into the AND gate at the top, that's going to be a 0, but then you invert that because the circle at the end. That's going to give us a 1. But is that slow enough, or do I have to go slower? Because I could... Okay, so with the 1 being Q naught, we plug that back into the R at the bottom here. So 1 and a 0 is going to be a 0. You're going to flip that with the inverter at the end, so that's going to turn into a 1. Then you go back up, you plug in the 1 and the 1. It's going to give you 1. Invert that, it's going to change it to a 0. You go back down, your Q naught 0 and your R 0 is going to give you a 0. You flip that, and it's going to give you 1 again. So we don't have to keep on evaluating because these are going to remain constant. So it's going to be a 1 for that. Can I continue? Okay. Normally, I'm very good at like seeing when people are confused, but there's no camera, so I kind of just keep going. All right, let's grab the next ones. So looking at a S input of 1, R input of 0, and a Q input of 1. Plugging in the Q and the S is going to be a 1 to the AND gate. You're going to invert that, and it's going to be a 0. Once you input your Q naught and your R, it's going to give you a 0. Invert that, it's going to be a 1. So it remains constant. There's no need for additional change. Oh, I put that 1 really low. Actually, that's fine. That little line here makes that really confusing. Here, let me just do this. Let's make this consistent. Did that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Like clicking multiple times, get rid of these lines. Okay, we're looking at a S of 1, R of 1, and a Q of 0. You plug in the 0 and the 1 into the AND gate at the top. It's going to give you a 0. Invert that, it's going to be a 1. You input a 1 and a 1 into an AND gate at the bottom. It's going to be it's going to be a 1. You invert that, it's going to be a 0. And then you come back to a 0 for Q, so there's really no change. We're just going to put a 0. And then finally, eraser tool. Our last inputs. Get rid of this. Draw. Looking at a 1, a 1, and a 1. Plug in the 1 and 1 to the AND gate. It's going to be a 1. Invert that. It's going to be a 0. A 0 and a 1 is going to be a 0. Invert that. It's going to be a 1. So it stays the same again, and we write that down here. Now for these two examples, it's very important that we list those as a no change.
No changing time.
Yeah, there's no change for the evaluation. And this one can be thought of as a set, because once you put in the 1 here, you get an output of 1. And this one could be thought of as reset, because once you put the reset in, it resets your values here. And these ones are just undefined. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is our characteristic table. Once you put in these outputs, it changes your evaluation. 0 is reset. Only in the case of that 1. I mean, these two don't really matter down here. The reason why that we put undefined and no change is because we get rid of those values to make the D flip-flop. Yeah, I put on the left there. So yeah, using this data, we would then cross out these guys here, and we'd cross out these guys here, and we'd make the inverter at the very beginning. If you guys remember this from the other lecture, we'd invert these values here so that we only get these inputs and outputs. So that at that point, these values have to be different, because right now they're 0, 0, 0, 0, or 1, 1, 1, and 1. If we get those, it just breaks the latch. So let me add this inverter here. We'd only have those at the end. Does that make sense? It's important to have your characteristic table so then you know how to make your logic. So this kind of feeds into the, well, this is literally the D flip-flop. Adding that inverter makes it the D flip-flop. And that's pretty much from there. And you'd also add your clock as well. But do you want to continue with the clock, or is this fine? With the clock? Okay, so the clock... I don't think I can really delete that. Hold on. Because I think that's going to get rid of the entire... Yeah, it's going to get rid of the entire line. That's fine.
You can
So we're going to
select.
draw the clock on the exams.
Yeah, you can select stuff.
For what? The D?
I don't think I can with annotate, at least.
For
Annotate's
like,
different.
So this is just like the AND flip flop, the NAND flip flop, right? So there's no clock for that one, but for the D flip flop, there's a clock, right?
No, there's a clock anyways.
Yeah,
'Cause
but he said
flip-flops-
with the SR we don't have to.
Yeah, so this guy right here, on its own, that's a latch. That's not a flip-flop. What makes it a flip-flop is the clock.
Oh, okay. So where would I draw the clock on that flip flop exactly?
Oh, hold on, let me redo this because that's not right.
Yeah, by the way,
You want to
one of
move?
the other questions on the exam is.
What am I doing? Erase.
Riley, do you want to move this stuff around, like this entire thing to the side?
I wouldn't be able to move it because it's
Can you
it's
see what I'm-
annotated. It's fine, I can do that.
Can you see this?
Yeah,
What
I
I
can
did?
see it.
If you wanted me to move, I can move it.
Because right here would be the clock. Or CLK. And then this guy would technically be your reset. And this guy up here would be your switch, or your set. Does that make sense? What would that take? It doesn't change. The clock is just another input to trigger your logic.
Mm-hmm.
So this table right here, this is the table for a NAND. Technically a latch, but in the case of the class, it was a flip-flop. I don't know why I would add an R to that. Flip-flop. Yeah, and then the NOR is just, I think it's just flipped.
Yeah, it's literally just flipped.
Yeah, so I think it's no change, 0, 0, 1, 1, undefined, undefined. Is that right?
I think it's 1 1 0 0.
So it's the opposite. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is just in the for the NAND right here. That's literally all that changes, and then it changes your characteristics at the end. Does that make sense? Are you confused with anything? Because we can try to go over some more.
You also asked for truth tables. So this is the name truth table.
The JK. Okay. Okay, so what's good for the moving on part? What's next?
Okay, well, we already went over the D flip flop. We can go over the JK flip flop because that's gonna be another question.
Before we move on, I just want to show you guys this. I have been looking for this for a while. I wanted to show you guys this last study session, but I couldn't find it. So do you see the latch here, how it works, right?
Yeah.
So this is the latch. I couldn't find one, but the same concept applies to this one. I couldn't find one that has both. But when you have the undefined behavior, this is what happens to the latch in the undefined behavior. It just goes like flipping no stop for, and
Yeah.
you can predict what it does. This thing over here is what happens in this big one. The guy in the GIF just doesn't do it, but this thing over here is what would be happening in the latch. This thing over here that keeps flipping, and you can tell what's the behavior that it's gonna have. Does it make sense?
I wish you showed this in class.
Yeah. in my first semester, Angel showed this to us, and I was like, "Oh, that's so impressive!" And then I couldn't find ever another representation of that.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Okay, so you guys want to do the JK flip flops?
Yeah, you said we have to do a counter, the JK counter of them. So, where he had like the 3 boxes and they all connected. This design a counter using JK flip flop at the box level.
Oh, that's just the connecting the JKs. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
but I don't know what he meant because it says that he could change the bits. He can ask, so you can have more or less boxes.
Oh, yeah, you just change the amount of... Hold on, let me try to find where I have my notes of that. Oh, because, yeah, he showed my example on the board. Hold on. Oh, God, do I know this well enough to show it? Dimitri, do you know this at all, or?
I can draw it.
Yeah, because we can draw the JK flip-flop in the box level.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're talking about. I have my notes on it here. It's been a couple of days,
Mentioned
though.
it in today, saying that he could ask for like a different amount of like bits or whatever, and I didn't understand what he meant by that.
Yeah, I wonder if I can grab my notes to show you.
So here you have the JK flip flops. Don't forget to include your clocks.
Yeah, the JK flip flop I know for sure has the clock between the J and the K.
I'm sending the example. This is the vertical version before I flipped it on its side and showed him on the board. It's that thing.
So the first thing you do, you connect the J and the K like this. And then you pass this over here to an AND gate. And then you just keep going through AND gates. These over here on the bottom would be the bits. And then you get the output from this one. And then you pass it through the AND gate. And then you get over here and you just repeat the same thing over here. You just go one over here and then over here. And then you get this one, connect over here, repeat, over here. Over
Does
here.
it matter how we draw it if we want to do vertical or horizontal?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And the last thing would be the clock. So, and then the clock goes inside this.
Those little triangles are the clocks.
Yeah. Then we have the clocks. There you go. So whatever goes in is the output. And then this is the overflow. So that's the, how can I say this? The box level of the JK flip flops. I drew last time at the gate level, but he never mentioned in class that he would ask for the gate level of the JK. So I think this is enough for the exam.
Yeah, this is basically the thing that he was asking us for. Just you'd have to take stuff out and remove them. Well, add or remove more for more bits. Yeah, my brain just like turned off though when I saw it in my notes, but yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah, if you want to add, so this is the basic structure. So if you want to add, you just plug this thing over here and then just keep going.
Yeah.
I like to have repeating structure so you can see a pattern and then just keep repeating.
Yeah, I also sent the ones that I drew on my notes in the study group chat. Because he showed mine on the board, mine was the bottom one. And then he's like, make sure you put the inputs on the left, outputs on the right. So I wrote that for future reference to myself. But yeah, what else did he ask for?
Could you go back to it? I still need to draw it.
Oh,
Oh. So the first step is always to draw the boxes.
How would you draw this at the gate level?
This is the,
He never specified, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason why.
the JK count flip flop at a box at the gate level is very confusing looking.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for it just because it looks horrible.
That's why he specifically said the box level.
We can draw it for you guys,
Please no.
but I don't think he's going to ask for that, especially because he never went over it.
But like it could be on the exam because it's Montagne. You never know.
Yeah, but once you see the JK flip flop, it makes no sense to.
When he was going over, he said specifically for JK would be at the box.
Do you want to just draw it really quick? Just
hey, what's that label on the top right, above clock?
It's your output.
A horrible
Output.
A horrible writing of overflow.
But yeah, your output or just overflow, because that'd be your
Overflow.
overflow.
Stop making fun of me.
That's overflow. Okay, I got it written down. Thank you.
So we have been through. So we did.
Can I see that one box you have up here? Yeah, thank you. I need to draw this down. I just want to draw this down.
Sure. Take your time. So remember, draw the box. And
Kind of
then,
moving.
yeah, just kidding, then Q.
I did it.
The clock, then the output, input, same input for both, and then you put this on an AND gate. Put that on an AND gate, and then you repeat the same thing over and over and over to the infinity and beyond. Both inputs, just kidding, then the clock, Q, output comes back, both on an AND gate, so on. And then you remember to come back to it and insert the clock on everything, if that makes sense. The way I like to memorize it is just so for you to have it fresh in your head. Memorize just one of them, just one of the boxes, just one of this circuit, and then all I have to do is just connect them over and over. It becomes yeah, it becomes like Lego in your head.
JK flip flops at the gate level.
Not box level.
So if you want to see the level, I think I have in my head so I can show you. So all I have to do is just like, but this is gonna be too close. It's something like this. You have a regular latch.
I'm a little confused why he never went over the topic of latch.
I know, he just mentioned it now, like, as a reason. Yeah, by the way, this is called a latch. I'm like, wow, thanks for that when we were going over it before.
Because, yeah, we covered it, like, right away when we had our review.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone was like, huh? And I was like, yeah, you guys didn't know that?
Yeah, I was like, really?
He was kind of like BT dubs, like.
So,
literally.
RIP. People
So this
missed
is-
class today.
So this is a latch, and then to turn this into a JK flip flop, you extend this thing over here, and this thing over here. This input, you extend them, and then you OR them. If I recall correctly, you OR them.
It's so horrible.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not drawing that.
You OR them, and then
Yeah,
this
I'll pull it up on my side screen here to make sure you're doing it right.
this is the J and this is the K. I don't remember where these outputs go. Oh, these outputs goes over here. Yep, they go over here. And then the clock goes, I don't remember, the clock goes somewhere over here. I think the clock goes over here, I think. So both of these is the clock. This is the same clock, by the way. And this big mess thing is gate level of the JK flip-flop.
This is the gate level of the JK.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's actually
need-
horrible.
Won't we need to draw that on the
No.
I hope not.
Highly unlikely.
Like very highly, like he
Yeah.
never touched it.
Oh, I'm gonna get my snipping tool so I can take a snippet of that. Because you know, as someone said, it's Montagne, so expect the worst.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, that's why I asked. You could draw. That's why I asked to draw
At least
that.
with
You
the
know what?
other
I'm gonna
things
draw
in
that right
class,
now.
he's covered the topics of them. He never
Yeah.
talked about the gate design of JK.
Yeah,
he
so I'm not
immediately
really
went to
worried
box.
about this one.
I'll just
Is
throw it
that-
in study group anyways, I guess.
You make fun of me?
Yeah, that is terrible. What the heck?
Yeah,
We're gonna get a pretty easy question though. The truth tables for the NAND and the NOR ones. He's gonna. That's like a
Yeah.
easy 10 points right there.
You guys want to go over that?
Yeah.
So then, if I recall correctly, this is just regular end, and then you invert it. if I
Yeah.
recall. So we have both inputs over here. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and then we end them. So let's end them. This is the symbol for end. So 0, 0, 0, and then the 1, and then we invert it. So 1, 1, 1, 0. So this is the end. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Is that a clock?
Clock.
Inverter.
What gates are these? What gates are these at the gate level of the flip flop?
So this over here, this is an AND,
Man,
and
is the triangle?
this over here is
And that's how it looks like, just without the inverter.
Yeah, he's just showing like the full out like gates.
Yeah.
these things over here, they're the same. They're
Yeah.
cool.
You're gonna want to write the one on the right for the test, but to explain the logic, use the
Yeah.
one on the left. But yeah. And then for the truth table, you don't put that inverter part. It's just the
Yeah, it's
0,
just for
0.
better explanation for you.
Yeah. It's just kind of break it down.
One thing that I like to do is to be very didactic. So I like to crunch stuff, the topics very, very well, so people digest them easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then NOR. So we just do an OR. 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, and then we OR them. 0, 1, 1, 1, and then we invert it. 1, 0, 0, 0. And this is the. You don't have to do this step. You can just jump, but
Magic.
you just see. Yeah, this is the OR, and then this is the NOR. Don't draw this on the test. Draw this on your head, because if you draw this, you probably will take a point saying, "Oh, I didn't ask for this." So
Yeah, it's just for visualization purposes.
so
Yeah,
when
yeah.
put
The
here,
order. The NAND.
say it again.
You drew the NAND gate, right?
Yeah,
You drew the
this
NAND.
this over here is an end.
You can
These
probably have to redraw it because that was me. That yeah.
Doesn't what you just drew the OR?
This one's the OR.
And then the inverter at the end makes it a NOR gate.
It's so basically you're gonna need to remove the inverter, right?
To make an OR, you remove the inverter. Yes.
Yeah. Remove the triangle.
Yes. The triangle and this little circle over here.
Yeah, it's just a circle, right? I think.
Yeah, this is the OR, and this over here
0.
is the NOR. These two are equal. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
This is easy.
Yeah, that's easy.
Do you guys think this exam is going to be easier or harder than the other exam?
Like,
I don't know. It's about the
I
same.
feel like the same. This one probably just has a slightly more like content-wise, like more drawing for sure. I feel like this one.
Like, Mike, if you want, I think you could use your notes if you wanted to, right?
No, yeah, I mean for sure. There's nothing to stop you from looking at it. It's not proctored.
We did this one. We also did this one. We did this one too. This one we did as well. Ring count. What does ring counter do?
It's the one with the control unit. So the fetch, load, store.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I think after that,
That's what I'm a
that's our
bit scared
last
about,
topic.
honestly.
So it's that hold on. Ring counter.
It's not bad. Just that's like probably the most recent thing I don't remember as well.
It's that thing like you have a like this and then this and then 0 0 0.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think. Do we have to draw the actual zeros like that?
I don't know. I did this the last exam. So load, add, store, fetch, jump. I don't actually know this one, so I don't feel very comfortable. Someone else knows it.
Did he want the entire like control unit drawn out?
How he wants it done, he wants it basically just, he doesn't want like the whole architecture, like where you put like the PC, like MAR, like all that.
Right.
Like you could just shorthanded just do the opcode.
Does he want
and
just
the
the
address.
execution, like where it goes, like the PC to the MAR?
Yeah,
You
like
increment your
like-
PC.
One thing
let me take a picture of my note.
Yeah, one thing that I remember was him saying today. Let me see here. Was something like this. So if you have
Just look at that.
Like this, basically. I'm sending it in study group right now in the Discord, but essentially like that's how he wants you to draw out for like whichever one he has, like load, store. He's gonna choose 3, I believe.
Oh yeah, you draw the lines to
Yeah.
where you need to
Yeah,
send
exactly.
the
Like
data.
just instead of drawing the whole architecture, just do like the box.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's not horrible, honestly.
so
The only one I mean, I guess not. The jump one is the only one that we didn't actually do and like draw it, but we have like where it leads to, basically.
Okay. So in the case of this is only the store command that's drawn.
Yeah, the one I just sent was store. You essentially would have to do one of each of this for load, fetch. Which other one is there?
Okay. It's not terrible.
one thing that I remember him saying, which was
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I think.
One thing that I remember him saying was which of these, let's say you want to go to send an instruction from the program counter to the MDR.
You have to increment them with the clock.
Yeah, who is going to receive the first tick of the clock?
Yeah, he mentioned that. He says possibly gonna be like another question that he could swap for one of the other ones. Like, I don't know. That one I didn't really understand what he was trying to go over the last.
Stop making
This-
fun of me.
This is always reversed. So the ones that you want to send to is the one that receives the first. So in this case would be this one would be receive the first tick.
Yeah, he said the one receiving is the one that always receives the clock tick.
Yeah. So if you Riley, if you want to go over.
Christ. Okay. Okay, so which one are we doing? Are we doing load?
Could be do one if you're comfortable.
I'm trying to remember what was the
Sure, not gonna
output
lie,
for.
whoever though who asked for the jump one in class the other day,
I was
like, are you kidding me?
when
'Cause
you
he's like,
ask
"Oh,
the teacher
goody."
when the homework is
Oh my
due.
gosh.
That was like what that reminded me of. Okay, so the IR is where we command our system to do something. So we have the opcode and we have the address of it. And then we send this information through the decoder, and what we set the decoder code as basically makes our circuitry work is the best way I can describe it. So this guy right here is going to be 0, 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3.
Yeah.
So in the case that we are doing, I'm looking down at my notes here. In the case that we're doing an add, that's right. That's 2 because add is 0, 0, 1, 0.
Yeah.
Load is 0, 0, 0, 1. Store is 0, 0, 1, 1.
Just to make
Yeah.
sure.
And when you're drawing your decoder, like specify like which line it's coming from, because I know he's gonna
Yeah,
be a
get to
stickler
with
for
it.
that. Because like even when he's going over, he's like, so like where he has a 0, 1, 2, 3, make sure for it matches the corresponding like load, add, or store.
Make sure this value over
Making
here,
zero.
value over here.
Yeah, essentially make sure.
Yeah,
that,
so
like,
if you
add-
wanted to add, you would be using this guy out of the decoder.
Mm-hmm.
If you were
Yeah.
doing
Is that at
add,
the gate? Is
you'd
that
be
the
grabbing
gate level?
this guy. You do not do gate level for this stuff, no.
No, this is just like the architecture we're drawing right now.
This is
That's-
just understanding how the computer's communicating.
Yeah.
That's a ring counter.
I have no
I mean,
idea what the ring counter is.
essentially, we will be doing the ring counter though, like what the decoder is gonna be connecting. We will be doing a ring counter.
Load to be this guy. Yeah. Okay. So now this is the part where it brings in all the flip-flops. So I don't even know if I can you zoom out this a bit?
If I zoom out.
Oh, I can't move it. Oh crap. Should
Uh,
I just move into Microsoft Paint really quick?
Hold on, I
Yeah,
think.
well, I don't know, honestly, yeah, because the lag and everything, I feel like it.
Let me just jump into Paint.
Hold on,
Yeah.
It's a little bit janky. Zoom meeting, share. Okay, I'm gonna stop your stream and then reopen it. Is it okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Where's Paint? Paint. There it is. Share. Okay. So I'm gonna redo what I just drew. So we have the eye. That's really big. We zoom back into 100. Zoom up. Zoom back over. You have the IR. Opcode. An address. Then we have the decoder. And right now we're only working with 4, just because it's only the I keep on looking back over at my notes to remember the values for this. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, and it is load, add, store.
Do you know what would jump be? Because obviously, like if we're doing it from the decoder, we have to have it on the proper line. How would we do this for jump?
It's whatever jump's opcode is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what its code is.
Are we having jump on the exam?
Well, he kept mentioning it, so.
Oh crap! I wasn't even in lecture today. That's what sucks about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna ask it, but he did say that load, add, store, and jump. He could ask 3 of those out of those, and fetch. Sorry.
Isn't fetch just 0?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like out of like fetch, load, add, store, jump. Like he could ask 3 out of those to draw like the architecture for it.
Did I write down jump?
In the picture I sent in Discord, I have like the instructions that you need to do for it. But we never went in class like the actual drawing of it.
Oh yeah, he never even drew what jump's address
Yeah,
is.
because like somebody just asked it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we could add this on the exam." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, the thing is, when you add someone onto the exam, it's no longer in his reviews, like his lecture slides or anything. That sucks. Okay. How am I gonna go about this? So I guess we can do. Which one do you guys want to do?
Now
store?
we could just choose. Yeah, we could choose just one of them. Of those.
Okay, so to activate, I guess, store through the decoder, we're gonna be doing 3. It's this dude right here. And to be able to actually call upon our different, I don't want to call them devices. I don't really know what I would call them, but basically a memory address register. Because these have to be activated in tiers, basically. MDR. We have our memory. Honestly, this question maybe have to be like a written down, like memorization kind of one. Let me grab the. What was the command for? It was. So for store specifically, your T1 had to be.
You have it in the order. It's T1, T2, T3, and T4. You have it in the correct order right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to try off the thing. Okay.
Yeah, because you have to go off of this to be able to actually
Yeah.
design it is the issue. How do you get the assembler from here? Oh, do you not? I don't think you went over that, actually. This is a weird topic to test on, because we never even go over it fully.
Right now, he's drawing the instruction list for
Oops.
store, the store function. What would it be called? I'm not sure, but
Store command? Is it a command?
Yeah, yeah, the store command. That's why he's going over the instruction for it right now. Yeah, honestly, I would think this is just kind of like a memorization type of thing.
So how do we read this line over here?
Assembly passes its value to the MDR.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
One thing I don't know, why is it written like backwards?
I'm not sure, but that's how his lectures have always had it.
I think that's how just that they write it within the field.
Yeah.
And then you have to reset to fetch again, so you're able to call something else.
Yeah.
So you're setting this guy to up here to reset it. Am I able to select?
What you drew here?
Yeah,
don't mind if I make an annotation here, please.
I can't see it at the jump. I'm not gonna be able to see it, but yeah.
Like my annotation here. What do these mean?
Oh, I can't see it.
He's preparing to draw his
Yeah, because you
Like-
have to use the guy. So
Like those are gonna be your final, like where it's gonna output to, like where it's going to. Like
we need to do this. So
Well, we need
you
to
have
draw
to
this whole
have
thing.
this here first, because these, like this thing here, lets you make this over here. You have to
Well,
have that first before you do that.
Well, you need to draw this whole thing.
Depends.
Yeah,
It
he
depends what
said
he asks
that-
you. Yeah.
yeah. And he was saying that he doesn't want you to do the whole architecture though, because obviously that's gonna be time consuming to draw like the whole thing and the arrows to everything. So this essentially what we're doing is like the shorthand version of it. It's still quite tedious to do, but that's what he wants.
How do I clear annotations from here? There we go.
Uh,
Okay, so this is so hard to explain because I wasn't here to do the shorthand version. I understand how to do it looking at your thing, but I don't know how
yeah.
to, like, I don't know how to describe it though.
Basically, it's like each of them, like from the decoder for each one, it's just gonna go into the ring counter because he did like one without connecting. Basically, the ring counter.
The ring counter is your flip-flops.
Yeah, it's your
chain.
D flip flops. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and then if you were to do it like just by itself, like regardless of that, it will count. Like it'll start from 1, 2, 3, and like it counts obviously. It's like kind of like what we're doing with a JK, but with a D flip flop instead, where we're counting.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, so these are the. So where would these go underneath the decoder?
Where would what go?
Can you
The
highlight
T1,
them?
the T1 and everything. Like, want me to annotate it?
Yeah, because I'm not able
Yeah,
to see it
yes.
otherwise.
I'm talking about these parts. Where would these go on the decoder?
They're not on the decoder.
They're not. They're just labels for your outputs essentially, like or where it's gonna go to, where the data is being.
Yeah, so right here, these are your steps.
So where it comes from is the thing that he's drawing right now.
Yeah. So you have to use these flip-flops to be able to actually, I guess, call things.
I can make an arrow. I can do the arrow. Yeah.
They got really massive.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can understand it.
Oh, I can make stems too. There's so many options.
The future's now.
Yeah.
Thanks to science.
Oh, and then I don't know if this means anything, but for QNOT, you'd have that as your output. But we're not going to be using QNOT in this case. Just thought something I could mention.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Will this will be recording, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. If we went over way too much to not have it recorded.
Yeah.
And then let me grab the data. So data is passed through. Okay. So Q has to go inside of each of these. And then the decoder lets you know this is what you're calling. So you have to bring your decoder down. So in the case that we have, I guess load, store, and like fetch, you would redirect these ending points here.
Yeah, that's
and you would
basically the
direct
only thing
this
that's
output from the
yeah.
decoder. That's all that
Also-
you change.
Yeah, that's all that changes.
Because otherwise, your chains like this stay the same. They feed
Yeah,
into each other. This will go into here. This guy comes down, feed into each other. This one comes up into T3, comes back down, feeds.
Yeah, the right side's the only thing that changes, and also like where it comes out from the decoder.
And then he'd go back up to here. Just so that they're flipping each other on and off. And then the clock is down here. Am I missing something? Let me
Damn,
make sure.
that's a lot to draw.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
honestly not. So you wouldn't have, if he
Yeah.
asked you to draw it, you would not have this. That just helps you visualize where you're sending stuff
Yeah.
to.
Unless he specifically asked for you to draw the instruction set.
Yeah, that's the instruction set. So here, let me just not do that. That's your instruction set there. This guy up here is the different opcodes. So basically, these digits here, those tell you what you put for here, your output. So because we wanted to call store, we grabbed the 3. If that makes sense. So then 3 gets sent to each of these outputs here so that they can be, I guess, stored is their command. I don't know the exact way to describe it, but yeah, these chains stay the same the exact time. These little boxes, the 4 ones here, would change depending on what these are here. And then T would be called through an AND gate from the command that you're running. So in this case, store. If that makes sense. I can't see chat, so if someone's asking a question, someone has to tell me.
Another thing, because of the clock, these guys they don't run together. They run like 0, 0.
Yeah, they're in like tiers. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There you
Go
go.
like 0, 0, 1, and then they return, and then go like 1, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 1, 0, 0. They run, they don't run together. One of them is 1 each second,
Yeah.
or each clock tick, because they don't follow seconds. If that makes sense.
I just don't know what. Let me look at what jump is, if I can find it really quick.
How do you know which?
Somebody asked, how do we know which one is ticking one?
So often, from what I recall from memory, the first one that ticks, there's the how do they call it? I think it's instruction fetch cycle. I don't recall which one goes first, but there's an order. Let me see if I can find it. I believe the order is.
Let's scroll down a little bit.
Let me see if I can find it over here.
Yeah, there's nothing down there, just the clock.
Yeah. Okay, I have a hard time drawing that thing.
Is he calling jump X?
What do you mean?
Because I'm trying to figure out what jump he was trying to talk about.
He's just talking about the jump command.
Because the regular jump
just said
command
jump in general.
the regular jump command just calls from it's your X to your counter.
Yeah, well, that's what he's saying. That basically it's whatever the registered, like the address goes into the program counter, and then your next steps there's no operation, and then it just resets.
Yeah,
the
it's
instruction
how are we
register.
gonna draw that? Because he didn't even go over
That's
that logic
yeah, that's what I
yet.
was saying. Like, I understand the instruction list, and like if we have to write it out, okay, but
Because like I don't know how to draw that. Because for jump it would be.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would happen to T1 and T3? Like, you just put like no op. Would you draw the same thing and then just put like at the end no operation?
You'd probably just have it be. Yeah, you just chop it off, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do we just? Well, the last one's not chopped off.
Oh, because that's your recall.
Yeah, you're just
Oops.
resetting the instruction register there.
And then jump goes to where for the first one? Again?
The first one, it goes into your program, like program counter, or
Oh, it's the PC. Yeah.
Yeah, PC.
So that's all that really changes. I guess that's how you would do it. And then
Yeah,
you'd
that's
call
my
it from
only
whatever
assumption as well.
opcode it is from the top. I don't remember what value it is though.
Let's see. Let me look it up.
Because you would just take it off of store here. You'd connect it up to jump. And then you'd change this to... This is tedious.
Yeah.
And just a program counter, you said?
The first one, yeah, it goes to, yeah.
This is my assumption on what it would be, because he never really went over it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like we said, the counters stay the same. The outputs are still technically the same. You just change your input from the decoder. And then you change your outputs of where your T's go to.
Okay, jump is 8 according to him.
According to him, it's 8.
Yeah, like load, because everything, yeah, load is 1, add 2,
Oops,
3
no,
is
it's not 0.
store. Apparently jump is little. According to his notes, I'm literally looking directly at his notes, and it says it's 8.
So just be, well, there'd be.
Loadist.
Oh, Well, I'm not gonna draw that many lines, but let's just say that one's 8. Or
Yeah.
0, 0, 0. Oh, no, opposite way. There. That's technically 8. You say he wants decimal coming out of the decoder or binary?
I'm assuming binary. I'm not sure. I mean, like in his notes, you would put just 0, 1, 2, 3 on the decoder just for us to know, but I'm not sure if he wants us to like put it.
Oh, any of those would work then, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
he should understand what you mean. But yeah, this
Yeah.
guy here is the decoder. You probably need to label this on the test, is why I'm writing it.
Yeah.
Yep. And
But yeah.
also for the store command steps right here, what are the ones for jump?
Jump. If you look in the Discord, I did send my notes there, and I have like all of the instruction like sets for all of them, and I'm sure too if you look in Holly's notes as well, she also has very detailed notes as well and has all of that as well.
Yeah. You just sent that?
Yeah, it's in study. Is it study group? Yeah, study group.
Yeah.
So basically, the first one, it's just the instruction register address goes into your program counter. The next two are just going to be no operation, and then the last one just resets to fetch, basically.
Yeah. For fetch, don't reset it.
And does he want us to write out fetch too if we call fetch, or just leave it?
I think just leave it. He never really, specified. I don't know. I just wrote it as a note to myself.
Yeah, you have, Abriel, do we need to draw the clock tick on each of the 4 boxes? Like the greater than symbol? Yes, you need to draw that.
What happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I know he'd take points off for that.
Go to the boxes. You see the clock, where the clock goes. I can draw, hold on. Where's my annotation? Wait, where do we put that? Oh, wait. So this thing over here, yeah, you have to draw those. Yes.
Yeah, those mean clock. You have to have them.
I just saved some points for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
5
huh?
points off.
On PC.
Oh, no, on... What do
I
you
don't
mean?
have to.
So yeah, these guys here at the
No,
end
no.
are for jump only, and then I guess these are technically just nothing.
The boxes at the end, the PCMDR, is just like your labels, like of where its destination is going to be, essentially.
Yeah, so can I find the notes inside of the class really quick? Let me find it.
Do you mean something like this?
Oh, did no one post their notes? Oh yeah, certain ones also need a clock, I guess.
Actually, I mean, I guess they would. I mean,
But he didn't even go over that.
he didn't even go over that.
I'm so
That's the thing
confused.
that.
Yeah. I think he did it in class. That's why I bring that up.
Hey, here.
Yeah, he did it for like one of them, but he wasn't consistent, so I'm not sure.
Let me share my.
Yeah, here, let me post
Could
it
you go
in
to the left?
Discord.
Could you scroll to the left real quick so I can draw?
Changing
the
my
thing at the left?
screen. 1 sec. This thing. This is technically what it would look like for fetch. That's not in the level that we just did, though.
I posted the picture of what he did today.
Yeah, I was like, I remember that one. He did draw the clocks, but.
So
that's
this
why
is
I'm
all of our
confused.
longhand, and then shorthand would be something like this, but it would just change to the outputs.
I mean, I guess to be safe, I would probably add them. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wish he didn't like bounce around.
Yeah, because he was not consistent. Because like in the examples he did in class, he never like did that, and then right today he decided to do that.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Monty.
Was there any other topics besides this one, or?
No, I believe that's like all he said was gonna be on the test.
Can you scroll down a little bit, please?
What are you trying to get?
Hold on. I'm trying to draw from the D all the way to.
Yeah, just don't get confused the way I wrote the AND gates here, because they're kind of overlapping.
Wait a minute. Oh shoot, that's PC.
A multiplexer?
MBR, man.
Multiplexer? What about it?
I thing when you're drawing this though, like you have to make sure because now the first and bottom ones, these are now for jump. Do you
Oh
want
yeah,
just
don't be
store?
confused. Yeah, like he changed that for the jump function.
Yeah, because I don't leave it to stay. I just change my values. So let me just.
And the middle ones, would it still go to MDR? I think it would just be like no op. I don't know.
Oh, I that's why I did that, the little break.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to redraw it.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you post this in the Discord? The drawing you made.
In the case of. This is the case of store. Oh God, what'd I do there?
A B, MAB.
Yeah, I guess I don't let go fast enough.
This is the only topic that I'm not strong in, because I couldn't go to some classes.
Like I understand how to do it, but we just didn't cover it enough. I don't feel.
But I know that basically the whole thing, the ring counter is a control unit essentially. That's
So
like,
the ring counter is just
yeah,
all
like
this
you
stuff.
put like a whole box around it. That's like the whole control unit right there.
Yeah, so this. All of that would just be the ring counter.
Yeah.
Because then your T1, T2, T3, and 4, that's all going to be going elsewhere. Oh, I get ring counter now, because that's just the counters. Okay. That,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I missed the lecture. Okay. What's the chat saying? You changed it from PCMAR, and what was the bottom one? You're sending fetch command to the register. The instruction register. Because each of these commands at the very bottom, you have to set it back to fetch, because fetch is how you input information.
I think that's all, to be honest, unless anyone else has extra questions.
Yeah, so basically you need to know each of these instruction commands, and then from there, that's you change where the decoder's reading out from, and then you change where your T1 through 4 is going to, based off your instruction set.
So this is a ring counter?
Ring counter
bottom,
is
the part he circled,
flip-flops. Yeah.
Yeah.